Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to remove protections from some 350,000 Venezuelan migrants for now, leaving them at potential risk of deportation. The court's unsigned order allows the administration to end protections known as temporary protected status, or TPS, pending an appeal process through the lower courts. The program gives people temporary immigration protections if they're from countries experiencing things like war or natural disaster. The Supreme Court did not release how the justices voted, but Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was appointed by former President Biden, said she opposed granting the White House's request. Joining me now is CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez. Camilo, what exactly does this really mean, and have we heard yet from the administration?
Make no mistake, Lindsay, this is a significant victory for the Trump administration and its efforts to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history, as President Trump has promised to do. It is also a legal action that will place in limbo 350,000 Venezuelan migrants who, up until today, had legal permission to be in the country and also to work here lawfully under the temporary protected status program. The Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to carry out what could be one of the largest legal status terminations in recent U.S. history because this population is so large. It is one of the largest TPS programs ever created. It was created back in 2023 by the Biden administration, which cited the deteriorating economic and political conditions in Venezuela. But now the Trump administration is arguing that this policy cannot be kept in place because it is contrary to U.S. national security interests.
So the Supreme Court is essentially saying you can revoke this status while this is going through the lower courts. They're not actually ruling on the merits of the case.
That's a critical question. Even though this is a significant victory for the Trump administration, the ruling is still procedural in nature, and the justices did not weigh the merits of the case. A federal appellate court in California and San Francisco will still decide whether or not the Department of Homeland Security had the legal authority to carry out this termination of TPS, and they could very well decide that the TPS termination was unlawful and that status could be reinstated. But for now, 350,000 people are now subject to deportation.
The first self-deportation flight took off from the U.S. today. What can you tell us about that flight? Who was on it?
Well, as you know, in addition to ramping up immigration arrests across the country to carry out those mass deportation operations, the administration has been aggressively encouraging migrants to self-deport and to register for self-deportation using a smartphone app known as CBP Home, which was repurposed from an app that was used by the Biden administration to let folks into the country legally. And we understand today, according to the Department of Homeland Security, that one U.S.-funded flight took off from Texas, landed in Honduras, and was carrying dozens of migrants from that Central American country who opted to self-deport. Then that flight headed to Colombia and also carried dozens of Colombian migrants who self-registered for self-deportation. The administration sees this as an integral part of its immigration policy. It is a recognition, Lindsay, that the U.S. government does not have the manpower or the resources to physically and forcibly deport everyone who is here illegally. So self-deportations will be a key part of the strategy.
And there's a financial incentive for people to do that as well now, right?
The administration is offering people $1,000 if they self-deport as a self-deportation bonus, if you will.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you.